time. All right. The Board of Zoning Adjustment, City of Osage Beach, is now in session. Please stand with me as we say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the assistant please call the roll?
Randy Groves,
Here.
Fred Catcott,
Here.
Karen Bowman,
Here.
Gloria O'Keefe,
Here.
Larry Jones.
Thank you. Are there any comments on the meeting's minutes from December 15th, 2021 meeting?
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
The meeting minutes are now accepted. Good afternoon. The Board of Adjustment is a committee created by the Missouri State Legislature and governed by the revised statutes of Missouri 1986. It is a committee for the City of Osage Beach and functions under the Circuit Court of Camden County. Composition of the board is prescribed by RSMO 1986, Section 89.080, as having 5 full members and 3 alternates. A variance requires an 80% vote of approval to pass. This means 4 affirmative votes. Therefore, 4 members must be present to convene a meeting. If only 4 members are present, we do allow the petitioner to delay their hearing until 5 members are present if the applicant wishes. In order to grant a variance, the board must find that special circumstances exist which are peculiar to the applicant's land, structures, or buildings that do not generally apply to the neighboring structures in the same area and cannot reasonably be addressed within the existing ordinance. Also, a strict application of the provision of the city ordinance would deprive the applicant of reasonable use of the land, structure, or building in a manner equivalent to the use permitted other owners in the same district, then a variance could be granted. The board must ensure that the special circumstances is not the result of action of the applicant taken after the adoption of the ordinance on May 10th, 1984. It is incumbent on this board to help ensure public safety by not granting a variance that would obstruct the functioning of the fire, police, ambulance, and the performance of their duties. It is not the intent or the purpose of this board to eviscerate the Planning and Zoning Commission or perpetuate ongoing nonconformity with city ordinances. Appeals of the board's decisions must be made to the Camden County Circuit Court, not to the City of Osage Beach. In a moment, all interested parties will be allowed to address the board. We ask that you step forward to the microphone and state your name and be sworn in. You will take an oath to speak to the truth to this matter. The first order of business is variance case 346, a request by Joseph M. Holliday for a variance from the minimum setback requirements for the construction of a new deck. Have all the legal requirements, notice requirements been met for the hearing?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Has the city made a prudent effort to notify by mail adjacent and otherwise obviously affected property owners?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have.
It is noted that we received an email from Mr. Kuhlman stating no objections to the variance. Were there any other written responses?
There were not, other than the memo that we received from the city attorney.
Okay. Will the city planner please describe the variance requested and the conflict with the ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, before we start, we only have 4 members, so you may want to ask the applicant if he wishes to proceed.
Okay. Do you still wish to proceed? Yes. Okay.
Just wanted to clear that up before we got started.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman. This case, number 346, is a request by Joe Holliday, located at 5055 Drasky Lane. And we are back in Palmer subdivision where we seem to spend quite a bit of time, and we understand why. This is particularly that subdivision where we find the majority of the homes being built at the very front of a residential property that measures by square footage just fine. It's over 10,000 square feet. It's a good sized lot, but because of the relative topography, most of these existing homes were built right up on the roadway, which of course makes them non-conforming structures. it's of course a situation where you look at the deck that is being proposed, and obviously it falls behind, where the leading edge of the home is towards the front property line. But as I said, it being a legal nonconforming, anytime somebody wants to expand or add to a legal nonconforming use, it is required to come before this board. The deck that Mr. Holliday wants to build is a 28 by 20 foot deck on the side of the home that will extend to within 8.14 feet from the side property line and 10.34 feet from the front. Obviously, in the perfect world, and if this was going to be a brand new home, that requirement would be 25 foot from the front property line and 10 on the side. In this particular situation, you're looking at an individual that is, not owned the home for all that long, that is looking for a little bit more usable floor space, outdoor floor space for the home, and that is why he is bringing this to you with this request today.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Yes, sir.
Does the applicant or representative like to present any further information or clarify any aspect of the request?
No, I hope that I supplied all the information that you would need.
Thank you. Is there anyone who wishes to comment in favor of this variance request? If so, please be recognized. Step to the microphone, state your name, and allow yourself to be sworn in.
My name is Rick Coleman, and I'm the neighbor to Joe, and I have no objections to it as in the email that I sent you people. The 8.4, oh, I'm sorry.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear the testimony you are about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. So being Joe's neighbor, it is directly on his side of the house that's adjacent to me, and I have no objections with the setback being decreased to the 8.4 inches, 8 foot 4 inches, no problem.
Rick, you need him to sign in, Kerry? You need him to sign in?
Yeah, go ahead and sign in, but he'll be on the official record also, so.
There you go.
Thank you. Is there anyone who wishes to comment in opposition to this variance request? If so, please be recognized. Step to the microphone, state your name, and allow yourself to be sworn in. Seeing none, are there any other questions from the board?
No.
Okay, we've noted the letter from the city attorney that the application is in proper legal form, the file is complete, and the matter is ready for the board's decision. Are there any other comments from legal counsel?
Well, I'm not legal counsel, but I'll just remind you that if it is approved, the following conditions would apply. Structure must be built according to the submitted site plan. Any expansion or change or proposal of the proposal shall require Board of Adjustment approval, and a building permit must be obtained for the new construction with all zoning and building codes being adhered to.
Thank you. Hearing that, are there any other comments, questions, or anything else from the board?
I would make a motion to approve his request.
Second.
Will the assistant please take a roll call vote?
Randy Gross,
Approve?
Fred Catcott,
Approve.
Karen Bowman,
Approve.
Gloria O'Keefe,
Approved.
The variance request has been approved by a vote of 4-0. Is there any further business or reports?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I guess all that I would say is that obviously you've all probably recognized that our previous member, Lou Mayer, is not here with us tonight. He did submit his resignation. Felt like his 14 years on the board had been long enough, and he was, ready to retire, and was struggling with some other things as well that made it a little more difficult for him to serve than he would like. But he sends his regards to each of you and stressed how much he enjoyed working with all of you. And with that in mind, the Board of Aldermen will be hearing a new member that may be appointed. Of course, the board themselves will need to appoint that person, but the mayor is bringing a new member proposal to them at their next meeting. So when we do have another meeting, we will have 5 full-time members, and then Mr. Jones is still our alternate. But he was unable to be with us today, so that's why we just had 4. With that, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
You betcha.
Is there any other additional business?
Thank our secretary for our treats.
Yes, thank you.
This is supper tonight, because we have another meeting at 6.
Hearing no additional business, the meeting is adjourned.
Enjoy your deck.
Yeah.
We expect a invitation to the grand opening of your deck.
I'm all in favor of garages and decks and sunrooms.
Yeah.
My